You're live.
Check this out. Check this girl out, guys. This is a Satanic leaf-tailed gecko. This is actually my favorite species of geckos ever. Sorry,
There are zero
guys.
people watching it.
Yeah, but they can play that. And these little geckos are out of Madagascar. They're called the Satanic leaf-tailed geckos because some of them will get red eyes and little spikes on top of their eyeballs, like a little horn. And obviously, they have this leaf tail that you see right here. They're some of the most gorgeous geckos out in the world, and they're very hard to find. Um, we're actually doing a sale right now for Madagascar, and this is the first time I'm announcing this. So we're doing a Madagascar sale on the website. All the panther chameleons, all the leaf-tailed geckos, the day geckos, and all the Madagascar animals are going to be on sale starting now, and all the way up until Friday of next week. And this one is actually a little Satanic leaf-tailed gecko female that is up for sale. And the coolest part about her right now is that orange she has underneath. Let me try to show you guys that. Look at that. Can you get that?
Yeah, you can see it.
You can see some of her orange. Let me see if I could get her to posture up a little bit. She has some crazy orange spots on the bottom of her neck, on her belly. Can you see that? Always be very aware. So these guys are arboreal. We did make a video about them a long time ago, so I'm just gonna give a refresher since we did get them back. I have 3 up for sale right now, 2 males and this 1 female, but I don't know, if they don't sell by the time this week is over, I'm gonna keep this female and the male that's in there. They're really nice and I haven't worked with them really that much, so I'm excited to, start working with them again. They're really hard to come by, and these are imports, but they're doing great. I mean, you can see how fat this little thing is, not dehydrated, no shedding issues, which are always good signs when you're getting wild-caught geckos. You got to make sure that they're not dehydrated. Their eyes shouldn't be sunk in. If they're having shedding problems, sometimes that could just mean that they got, kind of brought over during their shedding period, and it could mess with it a little bit. But a lot of times when you see a gecko that, especially a gecko this small and delicate that has shedding problems, if it's an import, it could be, a bad sign. But you can see it's perfect original tail, overall just a perfect looking animal. And this girl is just absolutely gorgeous. I don't want to mess with her too much, but I'm going to show you guys the male that's in there with her right now. She's so awesome, guys. I really don't want to sell her. And the male is just as nice. But the cool thing about these guys is that the males and the females, you can tell them apart because the males will have little notches on their leaf tail here. The females will be a full, smooth, rounded tail. And the males also tend to get these eye drops right here that you see right there on the eyeball. So that's how you know they're male. And obviously they have the hemipenal bulge right there. And this is an adult. Believe it or not, this is as big as these guys get. They're a very small and delicate species of gecko, and I don't recommend them to be handled or anything. They're more to set up in a vivarium type enclosure and just left alone. So as far as the setup for these guys go, this is more of a temporary setup, just for like quarantine purposes and stuff. But as far as the setup goes, you want to set them up maybe with some like soil in the bottom, something that's going to hold humidity very well. You could give them some sphagnum moss in some corners. Some dry leaf litter is perfect for these guys. I mean, look how well they would blend in there. You could also do like the eco earth, peat moss. You could do a mixture of things. You could put some isopods in there. You could give them live plants such as the pothos. UVB is recommended for these guys. A lot of the more experienced Europlatis, which are the leaf-tailed gecko, a lot of the more experienced Europlatis breeders, they definitely recommend putting UVB on these guys. So, I just go with what what the experts say. I have worked with these for a lot of years in the past, and I've kept some without UVB at all, and I never had a problem, but I wasn't breeding them. Most nocturnal geckos are not going to need UVB if you're supplementing it through the diet, or the D3 at least, but I think if you're breeding them, then you should go the extra mile to make sure they do have it. Especially for these guys. I mean, they're so small, they're so delicate, they're so peculiar. They're a lot harder for a lot more experienced breeders, but they're just absolutely gorgeous. These guys like to be kept. They like to be kept a little cooler, so instead of like the crested gecko, which you can put up into like the 80 degrees range, like the low 80s and high 70s. These guys I would keep in the low 70s, high 60s. Like you could give them like a cool drop of like at night of like 65 or so, or during the winter months, and then bump them up to like 78 during the warmer months in the day. But the average is going to be in like that 70, 72 mark range. That's going to be like the best temperature for them. You also want to give them higher humidity. Kind of like a crested gecko, maybe a little bit more humidity. So you want to keep it around 80% or so. And these guys are strictly insect eaters. So the majority of their diet are going to come from crickets, little roaches, small worms, although the worms is not the staple. You're going to want to feed mostly, the crickets or anything that's small. Now, when it comes to breeding, they're very hard to breed, and the babies are very, very delicate. They're some of the hardest and notoriously known geckos to die as babies, because once they get a shedding problem as a baby, they can die very quickly. But I know that people usually keep the babies in like the 32 ounce deli cup, something like this actually. And they'll just house the babies in there. They'll put a couple of like sphagnum moss, some fake plants, and then you can feed them like a couple fruit flies or pinhead crickets. But they're absolutely gorgeous. We have this one pair and a single male available, and we also got some mossy leaf-tailed geckos, which are family to those. But we get those all the time, so you guys might have seen them already. They're they also have like the lichen coloration on their back. And we got this one male that looks like he has a whole bunch of Dalmatian spots. I've never seen anything like that before. And the giant leaf-tailed geckos. Those are the ones that, they look like the Mossy a little bit, but they have really cool eye pattern colorations. And they're just, like they could get to a foot, or even, they get a lot bigger than these guys. Any questions?
Okay. Let me go back to see all the questions. Okay, someone said how much for one. I think
So these guys, they're gonna be around like $400 and up on the website. The Mossy leaf-tailed geckos are gonna start around $250, I believe. I'm just telling you this out of the top of my head. I'm not 100% sure. And then the giant leaf-tailed geckos like $300 to $400, or $300 to $350, I think. But they're all on the website now. I just uploaded them.
Black Saw Hex said, "Yo, how are you?" And Etienne Hernandez also said, "What up? What's up, Tiki? It's ET."
What's up, guys? Hey, ET, man, thanks for watching.
Okay. Why are they called?
Some nice chewies.
Why are they called Satanic?
Satanic. Well, I said that earlier, but because they get a lot of the specimens will have red eyes. These two don't, but most of them will, and they have two little spikes right above their head. Honestly, they're the opposite of Satanic. They're absolutely gorgeous.
Can these feed exclusively on crested gecko diet?
No, absolutely not. They only eat insects.
How much for a pear or crested gecko X Chihuahua?
I'm guessing you're talking about a pair of crested geckos. I don't have a pair of crested geckos. I have one female that's up for like, I don't know, guys. I don't know all these prices off the top of my head, but if you're looking for adults, it's gonna run you like, for like, let's say lower end crested geckos, you're looking to spend at least 150 or more for a female, and maybe like $100 or more for a male, for adult crested geckos. Now, a Chihuahua crested gecko hybrid, like this guy, is going to be, you know, a lot of money, and it's really, since they're not produced very often, it kind of depends on the person who breeds them. I've seen some people try to sell them for $750. I've seen some people sell them for $1,000. It just depends on the person selling it. And I also heard of people who sell them like really cheap, like $400. But so this is a Chihuahua and a crested gecko hybrid. His name is Trigger. You might have seen him from some of my other videos. He's not fired up right now, but when he fires up, he gets to like a maroon red. Really nice. So this is what you get when you cross a Chihuahua, which I will show you in a second, and a crested gecko. Oh guys, I also want to show you some blue-tongued skinks I got. My personal first northern blue-tongued skinks, which I know Manny has a bunch, and we do this thing together, yeah, but like these are actually my first, and I get all the breeding rights. Manny doesn't get nothing. So, let me show you the Chihuahua first. Hey girl. So this is a Chihuahua. It's called the Mossy Prehensile-Tailed Gecko. These are from New Caledonia as well. I also have a other YouTube video on these guys if you haven't seen it yet. And that's what you get when you mix one of these. Trigger is what you get when you mix one of these. And a crested. That's a hybrid. Two different species of geckos make Trigger. Let's put her back.
Someone said, "Hi guys, is it a problem if my crested gecko tries to escape from his terrarium?"
No, sometimes that could happen. Just make sure you have the proper setup, like it's the proper size. And you should be fine. Alright, check this out. Blue-tongued skinks. So this, he just popped a fresh shed. This is his second shed only, and already showing a lot of orange and reds that are gonna come in. But this is one of the northern blue-tongued skinks I acquired from my friend Ron Kudo down in Miami. He has the best northerns I've ever seen in person. Many too, but so this is one of the little babies I got. Let me show you another one. This one's feisty. Sorry, fucking up at me, trying to bite me. Hey. And this one is a little bit bigger. He's about to shed, but also really nice oranges that you can see on the side there. Just awesome looking blue tongue. You can ask me questions in the meantime.
All right. Curtis J. Berger Jr. said, "Need that shirt."
We sell it on the website, bro. And this is the last northern. Just is deep in shed, so you're not gonna see any color. But this one's, if you know our blue-tongued skinks, Homer, this is a full sibling to Homer. So it's gonna look pretty much identical to Homer. One of Manny's blue tongues. But these are mine. So, by the way, I'm gonna be doing another YouTube live with Manny when he decides to get here. But I just wanted to do this one at 6, talk to you guys a little bit about the Satanic leaf-tailed geckos, and answer a couple questions.
You should show your high-end red babies that will be for sale.
For Cresteds, not now. Just email. The thing is, the babies, the high-end reds, they don't. Crested geckos, they don't show their color up until they're like bigger. So they're not gonna look like much now.
What would a lily white crested gecko Chihuahua hybrid look like?
Now you're thinking. I'm kidding. I don't know. That'd be a crazy thing. My friend that got me that hybrid, he has a lily white from me. So I don't know. Maybe he'll try it.
Duchess SS says, "Marry me."
Duchess. I don't know who you are, but I can't marry you.
Just sending messages to his DM. Okay. Someone said, "I have an awesome gargoyle gecko. When he is fired up, he is brown and has black stripes, and when fired down, he is light gray and has dark gray stripes."
What about awesome gargoyle geckos? So I show you an awesome gargoyle gecko. Any more questions?
Do you know anyone in Orlando that sells snakes? Just curious.
Yeah, I sell snakes. What do you want? Well,
In Orlando.
Yeah, I don't know, but if you tell me what you want, I could probably find it. Here's one of our red stripe holdbacks. I haven't shown this one before. This has really deep red. God, the lighting sucks. Sorry. Alright, what else?
Someone asked, "Why don't you breed leopard geckos?"
This is why. Because look how stupid they look. I'm just kidding. I like leopard geckos, but I just don't have the space to breed them right now. But she'll be breeding to a giant Tangelo pretty soon. But this is a high contrast Tremper albino that I got from my friend. And she is doing awesome. You guys remember Goku from my leopard gecko video that triggered 500,000 people? This is gonna be his girlfriend.
Yogurt Abe's asked, "I worked for Despacito too. Can I work for you?"
Yo, that's Luai. I bet you money that's Luai. My friend Luai.
Okay.
Luai, man, I know it's you.
Someone asked, "Are you all out of Deadpool babies?"
No, I'm not. I have some that I haven't posted yet. I'll show you one right now. Actually, I don't know if this one's sold yet. Wait. No, that's a Saracenorum, not a Deadpool baby. This is a Deadpool baby.
So
Look at this fat little thing. This is a Deadpool baby. This thing's gonna be blowing up with color in the next couple months. I don't think I've posted this one yet, or maybe I haven't, it's sold. But I think there's only like 1 or 2 left on the website that are for sale. But the thing is, guys, I have Repticon Tampa next weekend, and then a couple weeks after that, I have the biggest reptile show in Florida, Daytona Beach, NRB, National Reptile Breeders Expo, NRBE. So I'm trying to hold some of the stuff I have for the show. So I don't know if I'm going to be posting a lot of it. But if you're really interested, you could always message me or email me, and I will, show you what I got.
Some Bald Karma asks, "When are you changing the name from Tiki's Geckos to Tiki's Reptiles?"
Good question, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I kind of never want to let go of Tiki's Geckos. So maybe I'll just do like the father branch to Tiki's Geckos, Tiki's Reptiles, or Tiki's Exotics. But I don't know. That's a good question, man. Because I sell more than just geckos now. I sell all kinds of things, but I think these geckos how it started. It's my heart, man.
Someone, Mr. Shinzubin asked, should,
Sensu bean.
huh?
Sensu bean.
Sure. Asked, should I be worried about him being dehydrated because his skin not going back down when I pinch him? I don't pinch him hard. Don't worry, lol.
So I'm guessing you're talking about a crested gecko.
Probably.
You should. The first sign of dehydration with these geckos is gonna be the eyes. If they start to sink in, kind of like when they're sleeping. If you ever looked at your gecko when they're sleeping, like during the day, and their eyes will sink in a little bit. But if it's moving around, if it's kind of sluggish, if it's lethargic, and the eyes are sinking and the tongue flicks are kind of slow, that's usually when they're dehydrated. But if you're keeping them how you're supposed to, there shouldn't be a problem. And if you're feeding the right stuff.
Someone asked, so my male is 9 grams and he is 10 months old. Is that bad?
9 grams and 10 months old. No, that's okay. Every gecko grows different. So you don't, just because somebody else's gecko goes to 20 grams in 1 year or in 10 months doesn't mean that you're supposed to grow that fast too. Every gecko grows different. They all eat different and they're kept under different conditions. So, but you could go watch our YouTube video that's called 3 ways to make your gecko grow faster and bigger, and I give some good advice on there.
All right. Someone asked, is your Rapashi Crested Gecko Mulberry Madness still out of stock on your website?
No, we got some more in. I forgot to tell you guys on here on YouTube. We did get some more in, but this is the last that I'm getting because it's a seasonal thing. It's not going to be available for much longer. So go to my website and order yours if you want some. I still have some bottles left. Yeah.
AutoGeek 101 said you look like Steve-O from Jackass and Wild Boys.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is that's not the first time I hear that.
Someone asked, when are you moving to a bigger facility?
Bro, been looking for it. We've been looking. To tell you the truth, these past 2 or 3 weeks I haven't been looking because I've been so busy, so caught up with like everything I had to do when I came back from Hawaii and all that stuff. So I haven't like put my focus on it again, but that's one of the things I'm gonna do this coming week because look, like take a look around. It's cramped in here. It's like I need to get a bigger spot, and we can't. I need more room to breathe, to grow. So.
Someone asked, what do you think of dumpy tree frogs?
I love dumpy tree frogs. They're actually some of the nicest, most docile frogs you can keep, and they're very hardy. So it's a great beginner tree frog if you're looking to get one. They're not as sensitive as some of the other species.
Someone asked, can you show the 2 females with Deadpool again?
Bro, just go watch my video. The Deadpool video, because they're like all the way back there.
Okay.
I just want to answer a couple more questions, and then I'm going to do another live when Manny gets here.
Okay. Someone asked, best beginner geckos?
Crested geckos.
Okay. Hold on. If you had to choose one food to live on between pizza or burgers, what would you choose and
Pizza.
why? Okay.
What?
And why?
Pizza because it tastes so delicious with all the cheese. And you got Chicago deep dish, you got New York style, you got Italian, flat.
Do you also work with the giant leaf-tail geckos? What do you think of them?
Yeah, well, we just earlier in the video you probably just joined. We got some in, so I get them in every couple of months or so. They are a little harder to find, but I love them. They're really really cool. They're hardier than like some of the smaller species, but they're still, I would say, more sensitive than like a crested gecko or like a leachianus, for example. But they're awesome. The main thing with those is like trying to get them big enough food items.
Can we see a lily white?
Sure. A baby or an adult? Yeah, I'll show you my best lily white. Alright, let's just... Might as well show the other two guards. The ones that are with that.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna first show you the gargoyles that are with Deadpool. You see why I tell you guys I need the new damn facility? So I gotta move these racks real quick. Okay, so this is one of the females, and these are two of the females that are with Deadpool right now. There's also a third female in here, but she's an orange stripe. These two are red stripes, as you can see there. And look how fat she is. She's probably has some eggs in her. I don't want to bother her too much. And look at this. I bet you that was her right there. Where's the third? Well, there's Deadpool. Here's the third female. And this is the third. She's an orange striped. For you guys that are day one Tiki's Geckos people, this is ISIS. Not like the terrorist group. I had that name.
That was before.
And this is Deadpool. My boy Deadpool. So let me show you the lily white now. You can keep asking questions or whatever.
All right.
Comment, just tell me.
Do you have any male Tremper albino leopard geckos, and what price?
Oh, not for sale. I do have some. Well, I do have a friend who sells them. It's the one I got mine from, Goku. So if you're looking for one, I'm actually gonna see him this weekend at the Repticon show. So hit me up, and I will, you know, try to find one for you. Hey, what are you doing, boy?
This is just me asking. What would be the best? Where would be the best place for him to hit you up?
You can call my cell phone number 754-368-9110, or you can email me tikisgeckos@live.com, Instagram Tiki's Geckos, Facebook, all that jazz. This is a lily white male that will be breeding very soon.
Someone asked, what do I need for a bearded dragon?
Yeah.
I want to buy one.
So for a bearded dragon, you're gonna need the tank, obviously. You're gonna need two lights, a heat bulb, a heat light, and a UVB light. Then you're gonna need like whatever you're gonna put in the tank, some rocks, some flat rocks, some wood, wherever you want them to climb or whatever. It's gonna eat vegetables and insects, so you gotta be ready to buy a lot of crickets and a mix of greens or carrots and stuff like that. But for more information on that, go check out our bearded dragon care video. So it's a more complete video with all the information that you're gonna need to keep one.
Someone asked, will you start selling / breeding chameleons?
Yeah, we do already. We have panther chameleons for sale. We always sell veiled chameleons, Jackson chameleons. So we sell them all the time. They're on our website. Three more questions.
What is your website called, and do you have bearded dragon babies?
www.tikisgeckos.com, and yes, I do.
Are you single? By Mick7411.
Yes.
Also, have you looked for a place here in Orlando? The population here in my area has been growing over the years.
Yeah, I actually wanted to move to Orlando. I still want to move to Orlando. I like Orlando. I like Orlando a lot. I got family up there too, so I used to live in Orlando at one point, so it would be nice to live up there. All right.
Someone asked, who is behind the camera? Laugh emoji.
My sister.
Face.
She's the one who cleans all the cages, who takes care of all the geckos. Thanks to her. Well, I take care of the geckos, but she helps.
Yeah.
She cleans. She's the best.
What would you recommend to breed? I am looking to get ready to breed.
What would I recommend to breed? Start off small, maybe like with one group or two groups. and watch my Crested Gecko breeding video. 2 more questions. I feel like every 5 questions I say 3 more questions.
Confusing question. Someone asked, "Is an egg roll an Asian burrito?"
Yeah, it actually is. It's an
Okay.
Asian burrito.
All right.
But let's leave the burrito, make it to the Mexicans. They're much better at it.
All right. And this is the last question. Oh wait, there's another question that popped up. Do you sell baby bearded dragons?
Yes, we do. And last question.
Last question. What's the next big purchase of yours?
That's a good question. Probably more blue tongue. Oh, the next big purchase is some racks and a new facility. But in terms of animals, it's probably gonna be a Chihuahua or a Lychee or a northern blue tongue skink. But I don't know. It just whatever I see that I like, that I need. It's hard to
Sure.
distinguish between need and
That
wants.
you need.
To Black with Manny.